Hi and welcome to the 16th day of the 21 day self-esteem series that I'm doing. And today the topic that I'm going to talk about, it's like, one of the symptoms of having not symptom but rather consequence of having an unhealthy self-esteem. Today the topic is about, the need or tendency that we feel to look perfect or to be perfect, especially in front of others. Like when you are interacting with others, you feel this urge to be perfect, or you end up behaving in that way or acting in certain way so that you look perfect or so that the other person perceives you as perfect person. So before beginning, I have few questions to you. So are you somebody who often find themselves, you know behaving in a way or acting in a way or talking in a way, so like being very conscious of yourself when you are with somebody else or in a social setting, just so the agenda is, the goal is, so that the other person thinks of me in a perfect way, so that the other person finds me good enough. So do you find yourself doing this? Do you think that you end up putting up a fake persona, or do you have a, do you think that you have, that you, when you go to meet somebody, you have a subconscious intention of, you know creating a perfect image of yourself in their mind? If yes, then stick with today's video, because today we are going to explore every depth about this tendency or need or urge. So let's start. So first, let's talk about the impacts. That, how does this impact? First is, you end up hiding your real self. So the mere fact that you have this urge or you feel this need to be perfect to others, it means that you're not being yourself in front of them. And when you're not being yourself in front of others, you are hiding your real self, right? You're not being yourself. And when you're not being yourself, when you are unable to be open yourself to others, you do not connect with anybody. No real connection happens, because see, you only connect with people, or uh, for this, go back, look at how friendships form or how you made friends. So back to old days, when you were children, when we were children, friendships would happen just because you would just be yourself with somebody, and it was never that you went with an intention or you tried to be perfect to somebody, and then a real friendship formed. So connections happen when you are truly yourself, without being scared of ki I need to be a certain type so that this person thinks good of me. In that case, no connection happens. The other person doesn't feel any connection, and hence you struggle with forming relationship in life, because you're not opening up to anybody. And when I say relationship, I mean all kinds of relationship, as in how you bond with maybe people at your workplace. How do you bond casually? How are your general equation with people in your life? How do you form friendships, the kind of friends that you have in your life, or maybe other significant relationships like partnership and other stuff. So the fact that you have this tendency, the urge to be perfect in front of others, means that you hide your real self, that you hide who you are. You hesitate with putting up your real thoughts, your beliefs, values to others. And when you do not open up to others, you fail to connect with them. You really fail to relate to them, because you know what? How does relationship form? When we relate to somebody. And how would anybody relate to you when you are out there trying your best to be perfect, because the other person is not perfect? People relate to us when they find or when they form a part of themselves in you. And nobody is perfect. Hence, nobody will relate to you when you will try your best to be perfect, or when you will try to be perfect to them, because they're also not perfect. So they will not relate to you. So this is the first impact. You struggle with forming relationship, or it's hard to form meaningful relationships in life. Second thing, how does it impact you? You lose your authentic self. See, wanting, or feeling this urge to be perfect to other people, or having your real self being put out, these both cannot coexist. They are mutually exclusive. So there's just one space. So you can either have this urge to be perfect to other people, or you can have this uh, you know uh, or you can just be free with putting out your real self. So right now what's happening, you are choosing this, right? We have this urge to be perfect to other people, and it means that we lose our authentic self, that we say no to our real self. And when you do that, it means that you're not expressing your real beliefs, your values, your thoughts to other people. You underestimate your own self, and you end up suppressing who you really are, when in reality you need to understand that You are the only thing that you truly have in life. So you know what, you have this one life and you are at the center of it, because how you experience life, how how you live life, how happy you feel, or every experience of yours is coming from you, right? And when you choose to suppress this, when you choose to underestimate your own self, when you choose to hide your real self, you are losing on yourself. You lose your authentic self, which is a sad thing, because you have just you, like you are the only thing that you have, right? And you lose that also. Third, it's waste of your precious energy. So this urge to be perfect to other people, it is a waste of your precious energy, because it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of energy to plan a fake persona, to plan or to really create a perfect image of yours in others mind. And the worst part is that it doesn't help you also, because see, when you are being a superficial person, when you are when you are being when you are putting up a fake image of yours in front of other people, when you're trying hard to be perfect, you end up creating a similar life. So when you are being superficial to other people, you end up creating a life which is also superficial. Now what do I mean by that? You end up creating friendships, or you end up attracting friends that also feel very meaningless and shallow. And it also applies in your career too, that you end up working or in an industry, or you end up doing work that makes no sense to you, that gives you no meaning, that doesn't make you even feel alive. So when you are being superficial, when you are choosing, when you have this urge to be perfect, to look perfect in other eyes, you also end up creating a life like that. So now next is the decision to shun your real self and choose a fake persona makes you feel even worse about yourself. True, because see, when you choose to shun your real self and put out a perfect image of yours, or feel the need to be that, you know what, I need to look perfect to other people, what you are really doing, you are actually rejecting your real self. You're actually saying that, you know what, I'm not good enough. So you are rejecting your own self. And when you do that, what do you feel? You are going to feel even more ashamed of that, because you already have a feeling that I'm not good enough. But when you choose this, when you do this, every time you do this, every time you choose to hide your real self and create a fake persona, or try to be perfect, try to be somebody else in front of others, you are reinforcing the same shame, right? And every time it gets reinforced, you feel even worse about your own self. Your self-esteem gets your self-esteem gets even another hit. You go a level deeper in your low self-esteem. So these are few of the impacts that I could think of. So now let's move to the next section, which is, now let's understand why does this happen. So we understand this urge of uh, looking perfect to other people, or when I say perfect, it could also mean that you are trying to be like somebody else. Now who is that somebody here? Somebody that I look up to, wherein I feel that they are perfect. And this is something that happens, when you have a low self-esteem, when you look at yourself like not good enough, every other people will try to, you will uh, I mean, what will happen is that every other people will start to seem kind of perfect to you. That is how our brain works. All right. So here when I say that you have this tendency to be perfect, or to low, or to be like somebody else, it could also mean that you look up to somebody and you find them perfect in particular aspect, and then you dream of becoming like that, or you compare yourself with them, and then again belittle yourself. So now why does this happen? Why do I have this tendency? Or what happened that this feels so natural to me, this comes to me so naturally. So let's go deep into it. So see, wanting to be perfect happens, or I feel this need to be perfect, because I cannot put my real self out there. Now why can I not put my real self out there? Where did this come from? Because the real self is not good enough. That is how I feel. Okay, I cannot put my real self out there because the real self is not good enough. Now why is the real self not good enough? Because you have a low self-esteem. Because I have a low self-esteem. And what does low self-esteem mean? Low self-esteem mean that the way you think about yourself, what you feel about yourself, is not empowering. Rather, it is negative and limiting. So the way I think about myself is kind of negative. And when I think about myself negatively, it's not a wise choice to put that out. Because then I'm more prone to being attacked. I'm more prone to be, feeling triggered. People will take advantage of me. I don't want to be disrespected. I don't want to be rejected by others. But coming back to the low self-esteem, now why do you think you have a low self-esteem, or why do you think of yourself as negative? Why do you have a negative self-image of your own? you have a low self-esteem, because growing up, that is how you felt about yourself. Because growing up, you felt like you're not good enough. You felt that who you are in real, that's not good enough. And hence you made a decision that, you know what, I can't put this out. I can't take this real self and out there and expose it to people, because you realize that it is not good enough. And what happens when something is not good enough? People reject it. And why would you choose rejection for your own self? And hence, even today, you have been believing into your low self-esteem. You have been buying into those negative beliefs that you picked up as a child, in your childhood. Even today, you believe into them, and you have been living by these rules and beliefs even today. And one of the consequences of these is that you feel it difficult to be your real self really out there, and instead you feel this urge to be look perfect in front of others or while interacting with somebody else. Okay, so this is what happened, right? So definitely the root cause is that you have a low self-esteem. Now let's understand what is the reality, because now what is happening, we are buying into our low self-esteem. So the fact that this consequence exists means that we are buying into our low self-esteem, that, you know what, this is true. I am not good enough. I am small. I'm inferior to others. So now, but what is the reality? In reality, your low self-esteem is not the end. It is not the eternal truth. Even though that is how you feel, I understand. All right. So the fact that you have these problems in your life, that you are facing these consequences, it means that till now you have been believing into your low self-esteem, like with all, with all your will. You have been buying into those thoughts. When in reality, your low self-esteem is more about other people than you. Now, what other people? See, people who made you feel that you were not good enough, people who maybe bullied you or criticized you or made you feel, who do not make you feel who do not make you feel loved or accepted. Your low self-esteem or your negative beliefs about yourself is more about them than you. Now, why do I say that? Because see, you need to understand this. People who made you feel that you are not good enough, indirectly, they projected their own pain and insecurity upon you. Why? Because that was all they had. So people who made you feel that you were not good enough, they were suffering and in pain in themselves. So you need to understand that, people come from their own place. And you really need to understand this, that you can only give to others what you already have. So the fact that they could not love you, the fact that they could not accept you, that they criticized you, that they made you feel like you lack something in you, that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy of good things in life, this means that they were themselves feeling same in themselves. That is why they could only give you that. That is why they could only project you that onto you. And when I'm saying this, it might feel of it might offend you. It might offend you ki, why am I being asked to understand people who made me feel not good enough or who made me feel unworthy? Because you are still you're still waiting for that validation. You are still blaming them and yourself, because you're blaming yourself. Because as children, what we do, somebody doesn't love us, we start to feel that I must be the problem, that this person doesn't love me because I'm not worthy of it. Because when you're a child, you do not have this cognitive brain, you do not have the ability to think and rationalize. Hence, the child you takes up the blame upon themselves. But now as an adult, you have your cognitive brain. So think of it, process it when I'm saying. It was not about you, even though the child you thinks that it was about me. Hence, they developed a low self-esteem. Hence, they started to think that I am not lovable, I am not capable enough, I am not worthy of good things. Who I am in real, I cannot put it out because it will be rejected, because I am just not good enough. I want you to understand that your low self-esteem, the origin of your low self-esteem is false, because it is not about you. All the negative messages that you received, it was never about you. It was about the other people who it came from. So even if there was somebody else in place of you, somebody who you really look up to, somebody who you really find perfect, even if they were at your place, they would have received the same treatment. They would have been behaved the same way. Okay, so it was not about you. So think over it. And it is not about understanding other people and approving their action, approving what they did to you. It is about understanding what place they came from. It is about acknowledging the past, so that you can finally detach from your past. Because right now you're very much emotionally you are emotionally entangled with it, with your past. You hold anger against those people. You are still angry that why was I not loved? And the more you feel anger, the more you are emotionally entangled with the past and with those people, you're not free. You're not here in present. So the entire point of doing this, the entire point of understanding the reality is so that you can free them. You can come from a place of understanding. You can free. You can so that you can finally free your own self. So, because only then you can come back to present and choose for yourself and choose to work on your self-esteem and change things for you. All right. So stop punishing yourself and give yourself a chance because it was not about you. All right. So stop punishing yourself for somebody else's pain, for how somebody else behaved with you, and give yourself a chance. And this is a topic that I specifically talked about in yesterday's video. It was all about this because this is something that actually stops you, that actually shows up as resistance when you choose to love yourself, when you choose to develop a healthy relationship with yourself, when you choose to work on your self-esteem. Because the fact that you keep blaming your own self कि मेरी गलती थी, I am the reason, I am the one who's not good enough, that these people behaved me in certain way, that they could not love you, that they could not accept me. So I want you to understand that it was not you. So stop punishing yourself for somebody else's act. They were coming from their own place, they were coming from their own pain. And when you understand this, when you let this sink in, you will be able to take your own responsibility. You will be able to choose to develop a healthy relationship with your own self, and you will be able to develop a very good and loving relationship with your own self. Because you will finally start to believe that you deserve it. And once you believe it, then that's like the start of the work. So now next is something that I want to talk about. Like it's particularly like how do you create a fake persona, or something about the how do you create a persona, or how do you decide that what kind of image that you have to create in front of others, or when I say that you try to put up a perfect image in front of others, how does that perfection look like, or how do you decide that what is perfect, or how do you decide that okay, what parts do I need to hide, or how do I need to look like? So you see, when it comes to creating a persona, or creating putting up a false image in front of others, you create a persona with the help of your inner critic. So it's your inner critic that helps you create a persona, because the inner critic tells you that what, this is the wrong part about you, this must never be shown, this must never be exposed, to hide this. And what should I show? The opposite of it. The opposite of it. So if you're insecure about uh, so if you're insecure that what, I'm not a very intelligent person, you're going to try your best to hide that and put up a persona wherein you are able to show to others that look how intelligent I am. So you're going to fake it, and you're going to be most insecure about that part. That may this person never know that I'm not good enough, that I'm not intelligent enough, that I'm not smart enough. So when it comes to creating a fake persona, you create it with the help of your inner critic. Now, and your inner critic does not develop out of nowhere. Your inner critic is nothing but your internalized parents. Now, when I say your internalized parents, or parents' voice, so see, as children, when we develop, so we have our parents, we have them talking to us, we absorb how they talk to us, how they treat us, and we internalize our parents. How? In the form of our inner voice. So our inner voice develops to be similar to how our parents talk to us, or how they treated us. So it's called internalization of our parents. So now when you had maybe critical parents, or parents where you did not feel loved or accepted by them, your inner voice, that is your inner critic, develops to be similar to their voice. So now how do you create a fake persona? Based upon what parts of you were rejected by your parents, what part you were criticized for. You choose to suppress them. You make a pact that I need to hide it. I need to hide these things, or these are my insecurities. This must never come out. And you choose a persona wherein you are showing the opposite of it. So like if you're somebody who was often criticized for making mistakes, maybe by your parents, that you were discouraged for making mistakes, and you were maybe punished, poked for it, your inner critic will tell you that what, making mistake is a very wrong thing. It makes me a failure in front of others. So one of your fake persona would be that so when it would come to putting out a false image of your own in front of others, you will make sure that I must never make a mistake. So, and eventually you will end up avoiding a lot of opportunities in life. You will end up missing on things which are required to expand your potential. You will end up living in that comfort zone. Why? Just because you're inner critic, just because you want to be perfect in front of others, that you had this rule that I can never make mistake, because my inner critic tells me that it's a wrong thing to do. Hence, you are going to suffer this way. You're going to stay limited in your comfort zone. So this is how you create a persona, and you only feel comfortable to put out this persona when you have this tendency and all of these things are happening. Why? Because there is no acceptance of real self. Because we have long ago decided to shun our real self. Because it was not approved by my parents. Because it was not accepted by people when I was child. But now I'm an adult. Now I can choose differently. Now I have this brain. I have my cognitive brain. I can very well regulate myself. I can think what was truth and what was not. I can I can create a fresh new self image of my own self by looking at myself from my own eyes. But for that, you need to have awareness. You need to know this, that your self-esteem is not written, is not embedded in a stone, that you cannot change it. You can very well work on it and transform it. Take it from me. Okay, so because of this, because there is no acceptance of your real self, you also do not feel confident in your body. Next is let's come to the most important part, that is the solution. Now what can you do? So first is very much important is that you need to understand that you're not flawed or good for nothing, and this is something that you need to understand. All right, so it's about understanding that what you think about your real self, that it's worst of all, I can just not let it out. If other people get to know who I am in real, they're going to reject me. It's not safe to be myself out there. This fact, or all the negative messages that you received from outside, you need to understand that it was not about you. It was more about them. Though as a child it felt very personal, you took it all upon yourself. Now as an adult, I really really want you to sit with this insight, and it will take time to really believe into something new, like to really start to believing into this thing, that what, all the things that I I took from other people, or all the negative messages that I received from other people while growing up, that they were not necessarily true, or I do not have to hold on to them even today. You need to, so it will take time to really let this sit well in your skin, and take that time, because insights are like seeds. You put that in, but you also give it time to really grow, all right, to germinate. So first, more, because, and this is foremost important, because until you believe, you choose to believe that uh, just because I have low self-esteem at present doesn't mean that uh, this is how it has to be all, forever, because it's my truth. It cannot be changed, because it was always about me. So you need to undo this. You need to stop believing this. So unless you come to a point where you start to believe that it was not about me, that what, it was more about other people, and I can always work on my self-esteem, only then you can follow the next steps that I'm going to talk about. So the next is, we're talking about solutions. So the next thing that we need to do is, we definitely need to work upon our self-esteem. That is working to create a positive and a much more empowering self-image. Never a perfect self-image, but an empowering self-image, and a self-image where I feel proud of. And you know what, so I need to look at myself in ways, or I need to think and feel of my own self in ways which is empowering, wherein I feel proud of myself, wherein I accept myself, wherein I own myself, wherein I do not feel ashamed of my own self. So see, or it all comes down to working on your self-esteem, to have a healthy self-esteem, because the core root cause of having this tendency, of having this urge, is that you have an unhealthy self-esteem. So definitely we need to undo this. All right, but you will only be able to undo this, you will only be able to work or create a healthy self-esteem for yourself when you first make a decision that yes, my low self-esteem is not my eternal truth. It was about other people more than it was about me, and here I am choosing to give myself another chance. I want to look at myself from my own eyes now, because I believe in my higher version. I believe in possibilities. I believe in my transformation. All right, so next, so we are talking about building an empowering self-image for ourselves, and because it is important that because it is important that you begin to think and feel of yourself in an empowering way, in a good way. Because right now what is happening, the only thing that we feel when I think about myself is shame. So we need to let go of this shame, we need to dissolve this shame. And because only then you will be able to go back to your real self. And always remember, more than being able to be, your real self in front of others, first is you need to be okay with your real self. First is you need to accept your real self, because it's only when you have the acceptance of your real self that you will be able to put yourself, or even think of putting your real self out there in front of others. And it will happen, like gradually, with small steps. Like initially you would start to put your real self out there with people who you are close to, with people who you really trust. Only then, after that, you will be able to maybe decide that, okay, now I'm ready to be my real self in front of, second, other people also. So the foremost thing is that you need to accept your real self. You need to be comfortable with who you are really at the core. Okay, and so this was it for today, and I think it was enough for the topic that we had. And if there's one thing that you can take away from today's topic, or something that I want you to take with yourself, is that learn to look at yourself from your own eyes. Because the core of having an unhealthy self-esteem is that you looking at yourself from others' eyes, you believing what others think about you, you buying into others' thought of your own, of yourself. Now I am asking you to look at yourself from your own eyes. Get back into your body. Own yourself. Because if you do not own yourself, if you do not choose yourself, if you do not stand up for your own self, nobody else will, and life will be same. You will keep suffering from you, like you will keep suffering in your body, which you don't deserve. So learn to look at yourself from your own eyes. So yeah, that was it for today, and I will meet you tomorrow with another topic, and we will explore another depth. And yeah, so this was it for today, and I am offering a clarity call. If you want that, you can message me, just DM me coaching, and I'll send you the link. And yes, so I'll meet you tomorrow then. Bye bye.